I'm feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best I've...
Jake Paul is at it again, announcing his next big fight as if he's already the undisputed champ. Classic Jake, living in his bubble of delusion where every matchup is a guaranteed win.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check.
This time though, his opponent isn't some retired athlete or overhyped YouTuber, it's Andrew Tate. Yeah, the guy who doesn't need a boxing paycheck because he's already swimming in cash. Sorry Jake, but your chances of winning this one are pretty much zero.
Because there's a lot of pressure, because you're putting your ego on the line, and secondly, because you have to dedicate yourself to a training camp completely and fully. You can't just do one pad session and put it on the fucking internet and talk about being a fighter. You need to dedicate yourself and try hard and set a date where you have a fair competition against another man and put it on the line.
Dream big Jake, but those dreams won't save you when Tate steps into the ring. Tate isn't here for your antics, staged hype, or Instagram persona. He's here to shut you up and make a statement. Get ready to kiss that false bravado goodbye, because this time you're not just losing, you're getting absolutely dismantled. Tate's about to make mincemeat out of you, and honestly, we can't wait.
Nobody is sitting down right now for good reason. Not only champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. There is some shields in the building.
Andrew Tate, a kickboxing champion, internet provocateur, and currently under house arrest. Honestly, the only surprising thing here is that Jake Paul somehow still thinks people are buying into his carnival act. Another day, another overhyped spectacle screaming asterisk look at me asterisk instead of asterisk I'm a serious athlete. Asterisk, Jake isn't fooling anyone, least of all me. Let's rewind for a second. Years ago, Andrew Tate called Jake out, back when Jake was busy throwing weak punches at fellow YouTubers and pretending he was revolutionizing boxing. And what did Jake do? Ghosted. Didn't even glance Tate's way. But fast forward to 2024, and suddenly Jake sees a golden opportunity, or more accurately, a golden payday. Tate's name has exploded, his controversies have made him a household figure, and Jake, ever the opportunist, smells money like a shark smells blood.
Because you managed to become a fucking clown! The biggest clown on the fucking internet!
But let's not forget, Andrew Tate has been under house arrest for 6 months. 6 months. The man hasn't set foot in a gym, let alone a boxing ring. He's stuck in his Romanian mansion while Jake's out flexing in Miami, pretending this is some epic showdown. Sure, Jake, real brave of you to call out a guy who can't even leave his driveway. At this point, calling it a fight feels generous. Let's call it what it really is, a well-calculated cherry pick disguised as a blockbuster event.
I'm on month 6 of house arrest so far, and we'll see how long this continues for, so I'm gonna have to miss it, unfortunately.
And Jake's not even trying to hide it. He's all over social media, hyping this up like it's the fight of the century. Meanwhile, Tate, housebound and all, still manages to exude more confidence than Jake has shown in his entire career. Tate even said he could beat Jake with just 6 months of training. Meanwhile, Jake's been boxing for years and still struggles to win unless his opponent is older than his dad or fresh out of retirement. And let's be real, Jake is probably banking on Tate's legal situation keeping him at a disadvantage, because Jake doesn't want to fight, he wants a guarantee.
Yeah, no, I think deep down he wants me to win 100%, but...
Let's talk about the so-called massive potential of this fight. Tate estimates it could pull in 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, translating to $90 million in revenue. Sounds impressive, right? But let's not get it twisted. Tate's fanbase isn't just big, it's fiercely loyal. The man could probably sell tickets to a thumb wrestling match. Meanwhile, Jake's fans seem more interested in the drama and memes than his actual boxing. Sure, he's got millions of followers, but how many are actually buying into this? And let's not even start on Jake's track record. His entire career has been built on beating opponents who are either retired, untrained, or just there for the paycheck. His 7-1 record might look decent on paper, but dig a little deeper and it's a parade of cherry-picked fights. Remember when he fought 47-year-old Anderson Silva? Or when he turned Tyron Woodley, a former UFC champion, into a meme? And now he's lined up Tate, a guy who hasn't fought professionally in years and can't even train properly due to house arrest. Bravo, Jake. Truly groundbreaking stuff.
Some of my idols, Anderson Silva, to win Knockout of the Year, cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, I've accomplished my goals and beyond.
Meanwhile, Andrew Tate's combat sports resume makes Jake look like an amateur in a backyard wrestling league. Tate is a 4-time kickboxing world champion with over 40 professional wins. His fights were about winning titles, not boosting a YouTube channel. Jake's boxing career, on the other hand, started as a joke and hasn't progressed much since. The gap in experience is laughable, yet Jake somehow believes this is the fight that will cement his legacy.
If you want to fight, you want to sign a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life.
Here's the funniest part. The social media war. Jake might have more followers, but Tate's audience is on another level. They're not just followers, they're an army. They show up, engage, and dominate the narrative. Meanwhile, Jake's fans seem more interested in roasting him than supporting him. So good luck winning the PR battle, Jake. You're going to need it. As for the fight's pay-per-view projections, they're as inflated as Jake's ego. Tate confidently claims the fight could pull in 1.5 million buys, and of course, Jake's nodding along like he's already cashed the checks. At $60 a pop, that's a staggering $90 million in PPV revenue alone. Throw in another $5 million from gate sales and $10 million from sponsorships, and we're looking at over $100 million for a fight that's more hype than substance. Impressive. Sure, if you're into overpriced, glorified sparring sessions that leave fans regretting they spent their hard-earned cash.
Probably like 1.5 million pay-per-view buys at like $60. So like 90 million just in pay-per-views, and then probably like another $5 million in gate, and then like $10 million in sponsorships. So like $105 million.
Let's talk about Jake's pay-per-view strategy, which has been called everything from exploitative to outright scammy. Fans are tired of shelling out $60 to watch Jake prance around the ring, pretending he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. Meanwhile, his opponents are either dragged out of retirement or blatantly unprepared. But why offer a legitimate fight when you can sell a fantasy instead? Jake knows his audience isn't paying for boxing, they're paying for the drama. And somehow, he keeps getting away with it.
I'm feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best I've...
Training camps for this epic matchup are shaping up to be just as theatrical as the fighters themselves. Jake's Miami training sessions look more like a fitness influencer's photo shoot than actual boxing prep. Sun-soaked beaches, flashy gyms, and a ton of Instagram-worthy moments, because nothing says *serious fighter* like perfectly curated selfies. Meanwhile, Tate is out here claiming he'll train in the mountains of Bosnia for 6 months, painting a picture straight out of a gritty Rocky montage. Sure, Tate and maybe Jake will be sparring polar bears in Alaska. Both of them are selling a story, but let's be real. Jake's version looks more like a reality show than a Rocky sequel.
Because if I were to fight Jake, I'd have to take it very seriously. It'd be a 6-month training camp. I'd have to go to the mountains of Bosnia and not do much else. So
let's talk about their fighting styles. Jake, at 26, has youth and those heavy power punches on his side, but beyond that, he's all bark and no bite. His strategy is simple: swing wildly and hope for a knockout. On the other hand, Tate has years of experience as a 4-time kickboxing world champion. He brings precision, speed, and a mental edge Jake could only dream of. If this fight actually happens, it won't just be a physical battle, it'll be a mental game. Jake's mental game? About as sharp as a butter knife. Then there's the sparring offer. Despite being under house arrest, Andrew Tate invited Jake to Romania for a private sparring session. Tate even suggested the footage could make millions, even if it never sees the light of day. Bold move, but also hilariously ironic for someone who claims to be all about the fight. Jake, however, has been suspiciously silent. Maybe it's because sparring with Tate could expose the glaring holes in his boxing skills. Jake's entire career is a carefully crafted illusion, and a sparring session with someone like Tate could shatter it in seconds.
if it was that easy, like I said, Jake and I could spar, of course, but that video would be worth millions of dollars. So we can't just throw it on Twitter for free because the whole world wants to see it. I mean,
Let's not ignore the fan reactions to the sparring challenge. Tate's followers are practically foaming at the mouth, calling Jake a coward for ducking the offer, while Jake's fans are bending over backward to defend him, claiming sparring would give away too much of his strategy. Strategy? Jake's version of strategy is swinging wildly like he's in a bar fight and hoping it works out. There's nothing strategic about desperation. The buzz around this fight is exactly what Jake wants: endless speculation, heated debates, and his name plastered all over social media. But let's not forget his pattern. Every time Jake hypes up a fight, it ends the same way. Negotiations mysteriously crumble, and Jake blames everyone but himself. Whether it's KSI, Tommy Fury, or now Andrew Tate, Jake has mastered the art of building anticipation only to let fans down. It's his signature move.